You wake up in the morning, you reach for your glass of water before you even check your phone, and your tongue feels like sandpaper, your lips are cracked and stuck together, and your throat feels like you swallowed a handful of dust. You probably just chalked it up to not drinking enough water the night before. Maybe you had a glass of wine at dinner, maybe the room was a little warm, and you moved on with your day without giving it a second thought. But here is what most people do not know. And this is what makes this topic so critically important. Waking up with a dry mouth and dry lips on a regular basis is not just an inconvenience. It is your body sending you a very specific, very urgent signal, and if you keep ignoring it, the consequences can range from painful dental damage to a symptom of a serious underlying medical condition. Today we are going to break down everything your body is actually trying to tell you, why it happens, what it means, what you should do, and most importantly, what you absolutely should not ignore. So if you or someone you love wakes up with a dry mouth regularly, stay with me because this video could genuinely change your health. Let us start with the basics so we are all working from the same foundation. The medical term for dry mouth is xerostomia, and it occurs when the salivary glands in your mouth are not producing enough saliva to keep your mouth properly moist. Now, most people think saliva is just there to help you chew and swallow food, but saliva is actually one of the most underappreciated substances in your entire body. Saliva neutralizes acids produced by bacteria in your mouth. It washes away food particles. It contains antimicrobial proteins that kill harmful organisms before they get a chance to multiply. It starts the process of digestion. It protects the enamel on your teeth. And it keeps the soft tissues in your mouth, your gums, your cheeks, your tongue, healthy and lubricated. When you lose adequate saliva production, even for a few hours during sleep, all of those protective functions start to break down. So by the time you wake up feeling that dryness, your mouth has already been in a compromised state for hours. Now, some degree of dry mouth in the morning is completely normal. You breathe, you sleep, saliva production naturally slows at night because your body is in rest mode. But the question that matters is whether this is happening to you every single morning, whether it is getting worse, and whether it is accompanied by other symptoms. That is where the real story begins. One of the most common and overlooked causes of waking up with a dry mouth is mouth breathing during sleep, and this is something that millions of people do without ever realizing it. When you breathe through your nose, the air gets warmed, filtered, and humidified before it enters your airways. Your nasal passages are lined with mucus-producing tissues specifically designed for this purpose. When you breathe through your mouth during sleep, all of that air goes directly over your tongue, your gums, and your throat, evaporating moisture rapidly and leaving everything parched by the time morning comes. Now, why would someone breathe through their mouth at night? This can happen because of nasal congestion from allergies or a cold, a deviated septum that partially blocks one or both nasal passages, enlarged adenoids or tonsils, nasal polyps, or even just a habit that developed during a period of illness and never went away. If you wake up with a dry mouth and you also snore, or your partner has told you that you sometimes stop breathing in your sleep momentarily, that combination is a very significant red flag, and I want you to pay close attention to this next point. Those symptoms together may indicate a condition called obstructive sleep apnea, which is a disorder where the soft tissues at the back of your throat collapse repeatedly during sleep, blocking your airway. Your body responds to these blockages by forcing you to breathe through your mouth, by partially waking you up to restore breathing, and by keeping you in a chronically oxygen-deprived state through the night. Sleep apnea is not just about poor sleep quality, though that is certainly serious enough on its own. Untreated sleep apnea significantly increases your risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and even cognitive decline. If you have any suspicion at all that sleep apnea could be part of your picture, please talk to your doctor and request a sleep study. It is one of the most underdiagnosed conditions in adults worldwide. Now let us talk about something that I see affecting a very large number of people, and that is medication-induced dry mouth. This is one of the leading causes of xerostomia, particularly in adults over the age of 40, and yet most people have never connected their dry mouth to the pills sitting in their medicine cabinet. There are over 500 commonly prescribed medications that list dry mouth as a side effect. This includes antihistamines that you take for allergies like cetirizine or diphenhydramine, antidepressants, particularly from the SSRIs and tricyclic antidepressant families, blood pressure medications including diuretics, beta blockers and ACE inhibitors, anti-anxiety medications, muscle relaxants, medications for overactive bladder, and many pain medications including opioids. The reason these medications cause dry mouth is primarily because they interfere with the nervous system signals that tell your salivary glands to produce saliva, or because they have a diuretic effect that reduces the overall fluid available in your tissues. If you started taking a new medication and noticed the dry mouth appearing or worsening around the same time, that connection is very likely real. The important thing here is that you should never stop a prescribed medication on your own. What you should do is speak with your prescribing physician, tell them exactly what you are experiencing, and ask whether an alternative medication is available, whether a dosage adjustment might help, or whether there is a way to manage the side effect. Sometimes something as simple as changing when you take your medication, such as taking it in the morning rather than at night, can significantly reduce the nighttime dryness. There is another cause that I want to address directly because it is incredibly common and incredibly underestimated, and that is dehydration. Not dramatic dehydration where you are dizzy and unable to function, but chronic low-level dehydration that most people walk around with every single day without knowing it. Here is a fact that might surprise you. By the time you feel thirsty, your body is already mildly dehydrated. The thirst mechanism in humans is actually not a perfect early warning system. It is more of a late-stage alert. So many people go through their entire day without drinking nearly enough water, have their coffee in the morning, which is a mild diuretic, perhaps have another coffee in the afternoon, drink alcohol in the evening, which is also a diuretic, eat a dinner that is fairly high in sodium, which draws water out of your tissues, and then lie down to sleep in a room that might be warm or have dry air circulating through it. By the time they wake up, their saliva production has been running on a deficit for many hours. The solution here sounds simple, and it genuinely is, but the key is building consistent habits rather than just drinking a large amount all at once. You want to aim for steady hydration throughout the day. A common guideline is about 8 to 10 glasses of water daily, but your needs will vary based on your activity level, your body size, the climate you live in, and whether you exercise. One very reliable way to assess your hydration is to look at the color of your urine. Pale yellow is ideal. Dark yellow or amber means you need more water. You can also place a glass of water on your nightstand before bed and drink it first thing when you wake up. This single habit alone can make a meaningful difference in how you feel in those first minutes of the morning. Now I want to shift into territory that many people find surprising, because dry mouth is actually a recognized symptom of several medical conditions that go far beyond the mouth itself. One of the most important is diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. When blood sugar levels are chronically elevated, the kidneys work overtime trying to filter and excrete the excess glucose through urine. This process uses a significant amount of fluid, and the result is increased urination and increased thirst, both of which can lead to dehydration and dry mouth. If you wake up with a dry mouth and you also notice that you are urinating more frequently, that you are frequently thirsty despite drinking water, that you have been experiencing unexpected fatigue, blurred vision, or slow healing wounds, these are symptoms that collectively warrant a visit to your doctor for a blood glucose test. Undiagnosed or poorly managed diabetes is one of the most common reasons people experience persistent dry mouth, and getting the diabetes under control usually brings significant improvement in the oral symptom as well. Another medical condition that frequently presents with dry mouth is an autoimmune disorder called Sjogren's syndrome. This condition, which affects women far more often than men, causes the immune system to mistakenly attack the moisture-producing glands in the body, most prominently the salivary glands and the tear glands. People with Sjogren's often experience an extremely dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, persistent dry eyes, joint pain and fatigue. It can occur on its own as primary Sjogren's, or it can appear alongside another autoimmune condition like rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. If your dry mouth is severe, has been persistent for a long time, and is accompanied by dry eyes and joint symptoms, Sjogren's should absolutely be on your radar as a possible explanation, and a rheumatologist is the right specialist to see. Anxiety and chronic stress are also significant contributors that are frequently underappreciated. When you are under stress, your body activates the sympathetic nervous system, the so-called fight or flight response. One of the many physiological effects of this response is a reduction in salivary flow. For people who carry chronic background anxiety or who go to bed stressed and wake up already anxious, this neurological suppression of saliva production can contribute meaningfully to morning dry mouth. Breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and cognitive behavioral therapy are among the evidence-based approaches that can help calm the nervous system and, as a secondary benefit, reduce stress-related xerostomia. Let us now talk about what all of this unaddressed dryness is actually doing to your teeth and your mouth, because this is a part of the conversation that people urgently need to understand. Saliva is your mouth's natural defense system. Without adequate saliva, the pH in your mouth drops, meaning it becomes more acidic. Bacteria that cause tooth decay thrive in acidic environments. Plaque accumulates more rapidly. The protective minerals that saliva normally deposits back onto your enamel are no longer available. The result is a dramatically increased risk of cavities, especially the type that appear at the gum line, increased risk of gum disease, mouth sores, fungal infections like oral thrush, bad breath that no amount of brushing seems to fix, and cracked, painful lips. Dentists can often tell when a patient has chronic dry mouth just by looking at the pattern of decay they see. If you have been getting more cavities than you used to, or if your dentist has mentioned concerns about your enamel, that is another reason to take the dry mouth symptom seriously and investigate its root cause rather than just masking it. So what can you actually do about it? Beyond addressing the underlying cause, which should always be the priority, there are several things you can do to manage the symptoms and protect your oral health in the meantime. Staying well hydrated throughout the day is the foundation, as we discussed. You can also try sleeping with a humidifier in your room, especially during winter months when indoor heating dries the air considerably. Humidifiers add moisture to the air you breathe while you sleep and can make a noticeable difference. Using a nasal saline rinse before bed can help clear nasal passages and reduce the tendency to breathe through the mouth. Specialty oral products like saliva substitutes, xylitol-containing mouth sprays, and alcohol-free moisturizing mouth rinses are available over the counter and can provide meaningful relief, particularly the ones containing xylitol, which also has antimicrobial properties. Chewing sugar-free gum during the day stimulates saliva production and is one of the simplest ways to keep moisture levels up between meals. Cutting back on caffeine and alcohol, particularly in the hours before sleep, can also help significantly given their dehydrating effects. Avoid breathing through your mouth during sleep by addressing whatever is causing nasal obstruction, and if nasal strips help you maintain nasal breathing at night, they are worth trying. If all of this still does not resolve the problem, your doctor can prescribe medications called secretagogues, the most common being pilocarpine and cevimeline, which work by stimulating the salivary glands directly to produce more saliva. These are typically reserved for cases where the dry mouth is severe and has not responded to simpler measures. One area that is often overlooked when discussing dry lips specifically, as distinct from dry mouth, is the role of nutritional deficiencies. Chronically cracked and dry lips can be a sign of insufficient vitamin B2, also known as riboflavin, or vitamin B3, also known as niacin, or a deficiency in iron or zinc. These deficiencies can exist even when someone appears otherwise healthy and eats what they consider a reasonable diet. If you notice that your lips are consistently cracked at the corners, a condition called angular cheilitis, or if the dryness persists despite good hydration and no obvious environmental cause, it is worth asking your doctor to run a panel of nutrient labs to rule out deficiencies. Addressing them through diet or targeted supplementation can resolve the lip dryness entirely in some cases. There is one more piece of this picture that I want to make sure we cover, and that is the impact of smoking and tobacco use on salivary function. Tobacco in all its forms, including cigarettes, cigars, and chewing tobacco, directly impairs the function of the salivary glands. Smokers consistently report higher rates of dry mouth than non-smokers, and the dry and irritated oral environment that results from regular tobacco use dramatically increases the risk of gum disease and oral cancer. If dry mouth is something you are dealing with and you use any form of tobacco, addressing that habit is one of the single highest impact changes you can make for your oral and overall health. To bring everything together, waking up with a dry mouth and dry lips regularly is not something to dismiss or normalize. It is your body communicating something that deserves your attention. The causes range from simple and addressable things like mouth breathing, dehydration and medication side effects, to more serious conditions like sleep apnea, diabetes and autoimmune disease. Every one of these causes has a path forward, but none of them gets better by being ignored. Protect your teeth, support your salivary glands, stay hydrated, breathe through your nose, review your medications with your doctor, and if the symptom is persistent, unexplained, or accompanied by other warning signs, get evaluated. Your dry mouth in the morning could be the first clue that leads you to a diagnosis that genuinely changes the course of your health. If you found this information valuable and it gave you a clearer picture of what your body might be trying to tell you, please make sure to subscribe to this channel so you never miss important health information like this. Give this video a like so it can reach more people who need to hear it. And drop a comment below letting me know what health topic you want me to cover next. I read every comment and your questions genuinely shape the content I create for you.